No secret, dozens of people have been dying on San Francisco streets from drug overdoses. We have seen all of these images and then some playing on a loop on the national media, and it's heartbreaking. And now we are getting a new glimpse at just how bad it's gotten. 74 people died from an overdose in the worst month in May since the city started keeping track back in 2020. And as Max Darrow shows us, the people who are living this day in and day out have very different ideas about how to solve this.
This is an everyday problem in the Tenderloin and in some of the surrounding neighborhoods. Just like this, you'll see ambulances on street corners. According to the medical examiner's report, 63 of the 74 accidental overdose deaths in the month of May were linked to fentanyl. Spoke with a guy who works in the Tenderloin and spends a lot of time here, who says we've reached a tipping point. Doing his part to keep the sidewalk on this block of the Tenderloin clean, Marcus Ross, born, raised, and living in San Francisco, says in this neighborhood, the coroner's van has become an everyday sight.
Man, I see it too many times. I work from 7 in the morning till 4. I see it probably 3 times. Pat, just either going that way, coming this way.
Every day?
Yes, every day. Every day.
How bad is the problem of drug overdoses right now in the Tenderloin?
Critical.
According to a report from the medical examiner, from January to May, there were 346 accidental overdose deaths across San Francisco. That's about 40% more than there were during the same time period last year. Even for Ross, that's a tough reality to comprehend.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a lot.
In response to the report, Mayor London Breed released a statement saying she's focused on expanding treatment and services for those struggling with addiction, but also enforcing the laws. Both state and local law enforcement personnel are cracking down, arresting people for drug dealing and drug use in recent weeks. Wesley Saver says the spiking overdose numbers are of serious concern.
This is something that we have been worried about now since the closure of the Tenderloin Center in December of last year.
Saver is with Health Right 360, a nonprofit substance use disorder treatment provider that works with more than 15,000 San Franciscans on an annual basis. He says their staff and community partners are seeing a massive uptick in need for service.
Record service numbers, people going to harm reduction providers. There's people having to adjust staffing rates to meet the need that they're seeing at their doors.
However, he says the city should lean into creating more services and resources and not more law enforcement.
We're concerned that a law enforcement first approach will exacerbate overdose deaths when we have the knowledge and public health resources at our fingertips that we could implement to otherwise prevent this. We'd love to see more drug sobering centers implemented. We'd like to see overdose prevention centers and wellness hubs established as well.
From Ross's perspective, fixing this problem and helping those who need it will take a combination of more resources and services and more law enforcement.
Both. London Breed has to go hard.
In finding a way to solve a problem that he says continues to hurt the place he calls home.
This stuff got to go. I mean, look what it's doing to our downtown.
So as far as who is using drugs on city streets, new numbers from police show the vast majority seem to be from outside the city.
Most of them are, list addressed in this country, but only 3 out of 45 list San Francisco as their address. And that was pretty, I don't want to say surprising, but, that was something that we're paying attention to.
And more help is on the way from the feds. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says more money and more manpower will be sent to the city to fight drug trafficking, especially in regards to fentanyl. It's all part of a program called Operation Overdrive. Pelosi remarked on that. Operation Overdrive will help our city address this tragedy by targeting the criminals who are doing the most harm, removing deadly fentanyl from our streets, and reducing related violence.